Do you find it challenging to price your products and services? Do you find it really difficult to know when you're charging enough, when you might be pushing it and charging a bit too much, or when you're actually being a little bit cheap as chips and underselling yourself? I genuinely think that pricing is one of the trickiest parts of business, and so often there is so much emotion and uncertainty and questions wrapped around it. So really trying to get to the bottom of it can be a massive challenge. So on that basis, I thought what I would share with you today are 7 things that should never influence your price. So at least you know you can knock all these things off and just focus on the fabulous things about you and what you deliver. So what should not influence your price? Number 1, Bob's price from down the road. You know, that geezer who's just set up in business, he's doing it cheap as chips. A couple of people might have mentioned him. The simple fact of the matter is you are not him. Your costs are different, your business is different, your experience is different, your personality is different, your customer base is different. So if you feel like having a nosy at Bob's price, that's fair enough, but it should not be something that directly influences your own price. Your business, your way, your prices. Ignore Bob. Number 2, how fast you can do something. This is probably the number 1 reason, the number 1 way where people really trip themselves up. The classic, it only takes me 5 minutes, so I can't really charge much more than 30 quid for it. It doesn't matter how long something takes you. Customers are not paying for your time. They are paying for your expertise and your knowledge and your impact. So the fact that something only takes you a few minutes to do is probably because you have spent months, years maybe, training, getting on-the-job experience, getting practice and really developing what you do. And that's what customers are paying for. So the length of time something takes you or how fast you can do it is not a factor in your price. That's not it. Your money guilt. I can't charge for that. I just need to make my service accessible to everybody. I just really want to help people. I don't want to be too greedy. When it comes to price, what you really need to think about is charging a fair price for a good service, and you should never feel guilty about that. Simple. Number 4, this one really gets to me. Possible exposure or possible opportunities. We've all been bitten by this at least once, that conversation about, actually, if you can do me a good price this time round, there could be loads more business coming your way. Let me tell you, it never materialises, and you will end up really feeling frustrated. You'll probably end up feeling taken advantage of, feeling like a mug and annoyed with yourself for compromising when you knew in the first place you shouldn't have done it. So promises of future business should not have anything to do with your price. Ditch that. Number 5, Beryl can't afford it. There will always be somebody that can't afford you, and there are 2 reasons for this. Number 1, there are always a certain quantity of people who will buy based purely on price. They only ever want the cheapest. They're not interested in value, they're not interested in service, they are purely price driven buyers. These people don't buy based on loyalty. So if they come to you for the cheapest price, they will immediately go somewhere else as soon as they can get a new, cheaper price somewhere else. It may well be that some people can't afford you. Some people are brand new in business. Some people don't have cash. Some people genuinely can't afford you. That's not your fault and it's not your responsibility. So know what your prices are and don't compromise because some people can't afford you. And remember, if nobody ever tells you you're too expensive, then you can guarantee you're too cheap. Number 6, because you find it easy. It doesn't matter that you find it easy. It's just like the fact that you can do it really quickly. It's exactly the same thing. Just because it's easy to you, that doesn't mean it's easy for your client or they wouldn't be coming to you. What you need to think about is how much time do you save them? How much complexity are you getting rid of in their business? Doesn't matter that it's easy for you. It matters the impact that you're making for your client and how you're saving them time, gifting them time, but helping them in a different way. That's what goes into your price. And last but not least, tightwads opinions. There is always going to be somebody that says to you, that's a bit expensive, isn't it? Bob down the road is doing it much cheaper. These people just need to be brushed along. They are not your clients. Somebody is always going to want it cheaper, and somebody's always going to be focused on cheap, but you don't want to be cheap. You want to go down the Stella Artois route and be reassuringly expensive. So hopefully those 7 little snippets have given you a few flashes of inspiration about how to set your own price. If pricing is a massive quandary to you though, as I know it is to so many people, if you want a little bit more time and a bit more help and support and a sounding board for that, then have a nosy at my one-off strategy sessions. So you can spend an hour with me and we can throw around all sorts of ideas and challenges around your price so that you can get real clarity on that. I would love to help you with that.